Hello, everybody, and I'm here with a very awesome invention. Yes, more with the minecarts, I know. Well, if you were here with me for my last video, which you probably weren't, I did some experimenting with having minecarts in the ground, like such. But last video we went over having chest minecarts in the ground. But this video we're going to go over actually a little bit something interesting. Recently, I've been designing kind of a spawn server, and I put a spawn like kind of place for a server, and in it I had this awesome idea that I kind of wanted to test out. So what we are looking at right here is just a minecart in the ground. It is nothing special. Let me switch over here, and I can just kind of show you that. All I basically did was I put a minecart on a half slab and I built around it. And we'll actually show you, I'll actually break this and I'll show you how to build it. And what it actually does is this thing right here is trying to give me snowballs. But, whoa, lag. Holy, oh, what was that? But what's happening is that it's not able to, and I'll show you why. Because if I'm standing right here, and then I actually turn this thing back on, it's going to start giving me snowballs, as you see. But if I put a half slab right here, it won't, because it just doesn't detect me anymore. But if I grab, yeah, being prepared for the win. Actually, I did have this entire thing prepared. I just didn't get this part prepared. Now, if I have a minecart right here, though, and I turn this thing on, and I'm right here, I'm going to get the snowballs anyways, because it processes me as being lower when I'm on the minecart on the half slab, whereas if I'm just standing on the half slab, I don't get the snowballs. So if you didn't catch that first part, this is actually how you get them. So I don't get any snowballs from standing here, and if you didn't catch that, this is how you get the minecart on the half slab. You just break this, and actually I'll grab some of the other stuff we'll need in a second. Now, designing, you can play, like, the reason I don't leave it like this is because if I actually walk on it, actually I'll just demonstrate, it just like knocks off the minecart like that, and I don't want that to happen. So you have to have at least these blocks right there, like on the sides of it. Now, I prefer having corner blocks because it just looks way nicer. And I don't know. I just think it looks odd without it. So, basically, once again, we do this, break it, and the minecart will fall perfectly in here. Now, the next part that we have to do is we have to put a piston on top of it. Now, this isn't mandatory, but if you put a carpet on top of it, it stops it from getting dislodged way more. Because if I'm walking on top of it, I'm not interacting with the minecart at all, and I can't push it into the wall in an awkward angle or anything, so it's completely protected. And the carpet doesn't change my height at all, so it's completely smooth walking over it. And I can jump in and jump out. Now, let me clear my inventory and re-grab melons. I'll need those in a second. And hop right back over to game mode 0 and explain kind of what's going on over here. Well, for the snowball machine in particular, what it's looking for, it's trying to give me a snowball in this command block right here, and when it says add P, it gives me four numbers: 375, 3, negative 920, and 1. Now, these first numbers are the coordinates, and the coordinates are where that half slab is. Well, actually, right below the half slab. So the dirt block the half slab is on, that's the coordinates for that. And the 1 is the detecting distance. So I have to be at least in 1 block radius of that dirt block. But if I'm on top of a half slab, I'm a little bit more than 1 radius than just standing on top of it. So unless if I use this kind of glitch being on top of the minecart, it doesn't detect me. So there's no way by walking around this that's going to detect me for snowballs. I mean, detect me and give me snowballs. Now this next part just basically clears everyone's inventory for snowballs. And the reason it does this is because, let's say I like tossed a bunch of snowballs out of here. It was trying to cheat the system. Like if I go down and grab these, they're almost instantly deleted out of my inventory. So I couldn't just hand the snowballs to someone else or stack them up. So that's why it clears it. Now let's turn this off. Now, there's a couple other uses for this. So right now, let's give myself an effect of... Let's say this was a battle arena. And... yeah. Let's... So now we see that I'm kind of critically damaged. So let's do that one more time. Oh, and I'm like really damaged now. And you see my health bar, my hunger bar isn't that high. So I'm not naturally regenerating. And by the way, you have to have natural no, you don't actually have to have natural regeneration on to do this. So you could actually have natural regeneration off or just have them have no hunger. But either way, I need to be healed, and I need to be healed fast. So if I turn this on right here, this healing thing on, and I jump in here, I'm actually going to get a regeneration 2 effect, which is going to slowly heal me. So if I actually spend a little bit of time in here, it's going to heal me. But what we have next to it is a heal kick. And that basically means that when I'm reach full health, oh, I have to turn that on. When I reach full health, it's going to kick me out of here so I can't just hug this. So it's going to let me heal. And then I'm just going to wait. And as soon as I hit full health, it kicks me out. And I can't jump back in there. It's just going to kick me out infinite amount of times. Now, if you don't want this to be true, I can just turn this off. And I can jump in here at full health. And it's like, whatever. So, that's just a cool thing you could do to stop people from camping. And I like the healing ideas, like kind of a heal booth in like a PvP map. Especially one without like natural regeneration. Now, this one's teleporting. And this one, I just thought this was kind of a cool idea. Like, you could kind of picture it as like a teleportation device. So you can walk around up here, like, usually people like have pressure plates to teleport people. But if you use a minecart, you could have like this be a huge floor, so people could be walking all around. And there's a couple of problems with having pressure plates teleport people. So as you probably guess, if I jump in here, it's going to teleport me over here. And I can set those coordinates for anywhere. I just set the coordinates to be right here. But I could teleport it anywhere. And there's a reason why this is better than actually having a pressure plate with a command block under it. First off, in a really busy server, it's actually easy for a pressure plate to get overwhelmed and have someone standing on top of it and have it not send another signal. So no matter how many times you run over it, it's actually already getting power. And that's kind of a glitch with Minecraft, but it can easily happen. The next kind of problem with having a pressure plate on the ground is, like I mentioned earlier, in a really busy place, having a pressure plate on the ground, like, you couldn't have a big area around it, whereas if you have, like, this kind of minecart, I could have this, like, literally anywhere, and I could just jump in and be teleported. So, that's cool. Now, XP. This one's pretty obvious. If I just jump in, you'll notice that my XP bar is going up, and actually I'm going to level up in a second. So just as long as I stay in here, I'll get XP. I don't know, you can use that in any way. I just thought that was worth mentioning. By the way, I'll go over all the command blocks in a second. Team boot. Okay, this is kind of another one. Right now, I'm on Team Blue, I think it is. So, if I just join Team Blue, at least, and you can tell that this is like a blue base. You could easily tell since it's blue. And I jump in. It's all cool. I could have a health effect, and then I could get that natural regeneration. And it'd be all good. Or I could have a snowball turret for my team. But if I turn to Team Red, and this is obviously not a red turret, and I jump in, it just kicks me out immediately. It does not want me in there. And maybe I could sneak some regeneration or something, but nothing that would only heal like a half a heart. So that way, you could actually have team-based kind of turrets or health spots. And I'll explain how that all works in a second. It's actually really simple. I have that all set up. And this last one is the output. So if I turn this on, what this does is Basically, this allows you to do anything you want. This allows you to go wild with your imagination. So basically, this almost acts as like a wireless pressure plate. So as soon as I jump in, that you'll see that these lamps turn on, and when I get out, they turn off. So if you want like a co-op based puzzle or something, maybe jumping in there opens a door and your like partner has to go walk in and like do something. So basically, when I'm in here, it sends a signal to this. Now let's switch over to game mode 1, and I'll show you how all this works. Now, first off, all these have the same basic structure. They use a comparator and like some well, actually, I'll just build it to kind of show how this all works. And I'll use a... Now, comparators have this unique feature where they can actually send one-tick pulses, and this has been in the game for quite a while, and I've actually done videos on this already. So it can have a really fast input and output signal. Now, if I actually want this to be a little bit slower, I can put pressure plates around it and adjust it, and this is actually still pretty fast. And then I can like make it way slow down, or I can like speed it up a little bit. So it doesn't really matter, and you can kind of adjust this. So this is basically the general setup of most of these. That way it just keeps sending a signal, and it keeps testing for stuff. But if you just have a one-tick signal detector, and I just set it up like this, it's going to actually create a lot of lag, because this is updating super fast, and I turn this on. This is going to lag out, and it's not going to be good for putting on a server or a game app, so I'm not going to use that model. Now, going over here, most of these are connected to command blocks. And for the first one, the wireless output, what it does is it has a test for command. So basically, it has the same coordinates and detecting range as we mentioned earlier with the snowballs. And basically, it's testing for someone who's in the minecart and like in that radius. And what a test for a command does is if it actually detects someone in that radius, it sends power to this comparator, and then this comparator will send power to this repeater, making it full signal strength. Now, the test for command, the reason I put a repeater next to it is because the test for command only sends as much power out as people it detects in that range. And since only one person can be in the minecart at a time, it's only going to send a signal strength of 0. It's going to send a signal strength of 1, which means this block is only powered right here. And since I can't have a piece of redstone right here due to the wiring already here, I put a repeater. So basically, it tests for this area, and when it finds someone in here, it sends out signal. Now, the team boot. We'll actually get to that one more last. XP, basically, it sends XP, just 1, to someone in that area. So, when this is on, every time this command block gets powered, if there's someone in there, they get 1 XP. Okay. Teleporting, same exact principle. It just teleports anyone who's in the minecart. Health kick. Well, let's first go to health. Health just gives them regeneration 2 effect for 2 seconds. So that's pretty simple. It just gives that to the first person who's in the minecart. I just did the @p to make sure it's only 1 person, but it should never be more than 1 person. But that's just a safety precaution. We already showed you the snowballs. It gives the person 5 snowballs. And then it has this like more later, and then it has like a 4-tick delay. And then it removes those snowballs. And then like a second later, it like replenishes those snowballs again. Okay, for the health kick, this one's pretty simple. I have a score bird called health. Basically what that means is I have like this invisible score, like you know what scoreboards are. Like there's an invisible scoreboard that's keeping track of everyone's health. And in order to have that, it's pretty simple. You just type this into a command block and you power it. Scoreboard objectives add health. Now, the first health is like what I call it. That's what I'm going to title it. And the second health means it's looking for somebody's health. And the scoreboard objectives just adds that objective. So if I have a health with a minimum of 20, which means that's actually the max amount of health you can have without the absorption effect. If I have the minimum of a max amount of health, basically if I have the max amount of health, it will teleport me. And these squiggly lines just means it will teleport me just 2x from wherever I am. Oops. So it will teleport me 2x from wherever I am. And no change in the y coordinate and no change in the z coordinate. Which means I'll actually get teleported over here. On a related note, the team boot, it's doing the exact same thing. It will teleport me 2x if it detects I'm on the team equals red. And how I set the teams up is teams are really easy to set up. And a lot of people get discouraged when they hear that, but it's really simple, and I'll show you how to do that. So to add a team, all you do is do scoreboard teams add, and then the team name, in which I add red. So pressing this button would let me add the red team, scoreboard teams add red. And then likewise, I did scoreboard teams add blue, and then I press the button. So if I do scoreboard teams list, it's going to list all the teams, and you can see that it has the red team and the blue team. And since it has one players on it because, well, one player, because I joined it. Now, join red and join blue, they're also really simple. If you press this, you join red, and if you press this one, you join blue. And for the join red, you just do scoreboard teams join red, and then at P, or whoever you want it to be at. And then if you do scoreboard teams join blue, and then whoever you want it to be directed at. So these are really simple. So if basically what this is going to be looking for is it's going to be looking for someone who is the team who's on the red team and in the minecart, and they're just going to teleport them to X over, which will be right here. So it's pretty smooth, and I hope I inspired you guys to go make something cool, make a cool PvP mini game, or make something cool on a server spawn, like cool teleporting, or cool like just snowball just like turrets, because snowballs don't harm anyone, and just having like one of those on a server spawn would be fun if people could just jump in and shoot at each other. And actually 2 warnings that you need to know immediately right now. If I actually hop into actually I'll need some snowballs first. If I hop into game mode 0 and I shoot snowballs at this minecart, it's actually not going to break it or anything. But if I'm in creative and someone shoots a snowball at a minecart, it's actually going to break it. So make sure no one in creative is shooting snowballs, because they can easily break the minecart inside of it. The next part is, even though it seems like it's in the ground, I can still punch this minecart. So I can still break it. So if you have this on a server or on a PvP map, keep in mind that people can still punch it if they can accidentally break it if they're fighting. And if I have a bow and arrow, I can still shoot this and break it. So it's not 100% protected. I mean, it has a really small hitbox. Like, I can actually show you the hitbox right now. The white part is the hitbox, but you have to keep in mind that someone still could shoot a bow at it, or they could punch it. So, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have a lot more videos kind of like this on my channel. If you want to go check those out, that'd be cool. And goodbye, and have a nice day.